Yo, yo, yo. Set up my phone. All right. Yo, yo, yo. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Funny, today we don't have questions. We don't have any questions. Actually, I know these lights are gonna turn off while I'm doing this episode. So hold on one second. I had to turn on the spotlights, whatever you want to call them. Flo, she's good. She's good. I don't know if she's gonna lay a third clutch or not. She's kind of been moody, but she has that second clutch that she laid not that long ago. I don't know how long ago it was. But yeah, she has that clutch. Yo, yo, yo. I'm good. Fam's good. Everybody's good. Living the life, enjoying the life. That's it. Getting ready for pool weather. We'll see what happens. Got to set up this whatever the Walmart pools are. Those things are honestly for the price they will most likely do it. They will most likely do it. So is that a for sure answer, or is that something? All right. Now I guess the question would be like how likely, how are they going to monitor that? Like, is there going to be somebody going around with a scale telling you, no, your dragon weight's not enough to be sold here? Because I would say anything below 6 or 8 probably too low. No cresties. I'm not a huge fan of geckos, to be honest. I think geckos are kind of I don't want to say this and make anybody mad, but they're kind of boring. So no, I don't have any cresties. The only geckos that I would probably ever own, and that's a huge maybe, is the lychees because they're bigger. But I think all geckos are kind of boring. I used to have leopard geckos, and I knew people that had crested geckos, and the leopard geckos that I had, it was for me to actually enjoy them. It was like very rare, and the people that I know that have cresties hardly ever get them out. So, you seen a cresty for $1,200? You seen a cresty for $1,200? No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, a lychee? Yeah, lychees are expensive. Lychees are expensive. Absolutely. Yeah, lychees. That's the only reason I would never get into them because they're. I mean, lychees probably get like this big, and they are expensive. Like I knew somebody that was getting into lychees, so the only way they could get into lychees was making like buying little 10-gallon tanks and making a bunch of cresty enclosures and reselling them, so he could buy lychees. So it worked out for him because he bought some lychees. But whenever I think, see, that's the other thing is everybody wants to breed, and whenever you get things that like lychees where they're expensive, you start breeding them. Most people don't buy them, and then the people that do buy them, they probably know what they want, and then they probably don't want what you have. So that does happen. You like you have 5 babies, 5 cresties. Oh, good gosh, 5 cresties. Like, so this is another thing about cresties that I'm not really a fan about. It's the fact that they'll lose their tails, never regrow them. So once they drop their tails, they drop them, right? So that's it. It's not like leopard geckos that they lose their tail and eventually it grows back. Yeah, they're not like dogs. They're not. Yeah, they're not noisy. Uh, you got 2 adult leopards too. I talked to a breeder with them. He said they only have 2. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So that's why they're expensive. Yeah, and that it's very common for them to not have tails. It's very common, but I mean, most people like them without tails because they look like bulldogs, I guess you can say. And then the people that do have them with tails, they worry the entire time that their tails are going to fall off. So I absolutely understand where they're coming from because it would be like I don't know. Well, I know exactly because bearded dragon's tails they don't go back. So if you have a bearded dragon you plan on keeping and somehow it loses its tail from injury or something, then all of a sudden now you have a tailless bearded dragon. So yeah, yeah, they're it's gonna be hard because any little thing can make them drop their tails. So I don't have any questions today. I don't think anybody's sending any questions. So you guys are in the chat are all I'm counting on today. What is this? They're saying there's an ad. There should not be no ads on live. It's crazy. You guys getting ads? Or is it just me getting an ad on my own account? That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. I had an ad pop up. I don't know. So I guess this is my hobby. It's just a hobby, man. I don't do this full time. I probably spend 2 or 3 hours a day in here cleaning, feeding, making sure everybody's good, making sure everybody's happy, healthy, living life. Yeah, snakes. I have 3 species of snakes. I have ball pythons, boa constrictors, and I have hog noses. Or anacondas. See, that's I don't know about people having snakes like that. But obviously, if they got the room, whatever. I would never get into anacondas. I don't want anything that could possibly eat my smallest dog. And my smallest dog is about the size of a big rabbit. It's probably 20, 25 pounds. Maybe she's probably 30 pounds because she's kind of a brick. She's thick. But anything that can eat something like that, I don't want it. Because I've seen people feed the reticulated pythons, like baby goats and stuff like that. Nah, no, thank you. Baby goats the size of my dog. No, thank you. No, I would never. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They require too much space. They require too much maintenance. They require too much food. Yep. Yeah, corals. Corals are albinos and lavender. I think that's what they are. Yeah, they're not cheap. Hognoses are not cheap. Like for real. Check this out. I'm bringing a hognose out. So this one here, this one here is a normal hognose. This is a female, adult female. She's the one that laid my first clutch of hognoses ever. This one here, this is Haley. She is not the most expensive hognose, but she is one of my first hognose purchases, and she was probably $800 like 3 years ago. And adult females are the most expensive hognoses you can buy. It's crazy. And she, like I said, about 3 years ago, she was about 800. She is probably about $500 or $600 now because they've kind of gone down in value a little bit. But adult females are expensive, and I mean they're incredibly expensive. I would never, I'm not gonna say never. I'm not gonna say I'll never buy another one, but I'll probably just buy sub adults from now on if I want anything that's getting closer to breeding size. Because for as long as it took me to breed her, I could have just bought a baby because it usually takes about 3 years. So yeah, pretty cool snakes, honestly. Obviously, they call them hog noses because of their face. Show your face, that smush face. I love their belly pattern. It's like checkerboards. Yeah. and they're not big. I mean, they're this one. She's um probably like 3 feet long. She probably weighs about 400 grams or something like that. So they're not huge. And she just grabbed onto my mic. Look at that. It's crazy because their tails, unlike most other snakes, their tails are actually. It's almost like they have an opposable tail. It's weird. Let go. Like the very tip of their tail is like crazy. Oh, most expensive? Let's go. I'll be right back. All right. So this one here is Callisto. Callisto is a super yeti. That's what they call them. So a super yeti is essentially super conda, albino, and exanthic. So you get this white snake, also known as a snow. And the reason they call it super yeti is because whenever you put conda on top of snow, you get a yeti. And then when you get super conda, you call it a super yeti. Super cool. This is a sire to the clutches I have. He is the most expensive hognose that I have. Whenever I bought him, which was in the winter, he was $1,000. Whenever I first got into hognoses, this guy was a $2,000 snake, but I'm glad I waited because so what happened was I had bought a baby super conda exanthic head albino to breed with Haley, and he was $700, but he was a baby. So what happened was I grew him up. He became sub-adult by the time I decided to sell him and get Callisto here. And whenever I decided to sell him, since he was a sub-adult, he was the same price. Yeah, 800, 700, $800, something like that. And so I just took that money and just upgraded to Callisto here for another $200 here. So it was worth it because obviously he was already a proven breeder. He was an adult. Males usually don't hold the same value as females, obviously. But whenever I first got into hognoses, this guy was $2,000. But now he's only a mere 1 grand. Callisto here. Super cool snake too. Obviously, you guys can see he's just mainly white. That's what I like about Super Conda. They have literally no pattern. Sometimes they'll get like a stripe down their back, which this guy kind of has a stripe on his head. There you kind of see it. But yeah, super cool. And because he is a snow, he has no belly pattern either. Solid. Super condas are the best, in my opinion. So that is the most expensive one right here. And I have 6 hognoses altogether, but 3 of them are young, and the young hognoses are atrocious. Those things think they have to eat every single day. So every time I try to get them out, it's almost like they're trying to eat me. But adults like this, they know better. And I have another one that I got a couple of years ago, and I've grown her up. So she's more used to me now. But whenever I first got her, she did try to think I was food. Let's still brush up, bro. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, she got snakes out today." What else you want to see? Oh, you got a milk snake today? Yeah, milk snakes are. I like colubrids, man. I think they're pretty cool. I think I like the fact that they kind of stay small. Most of them stay small, and yeah, they're pretty chill for the most part, and they're a little bit more active than ball pythons are. So yeah, I gotta just sneak a peek, sneak a snake. Oh, you gotta sneak a snake home? Nah, dude, you don't want to do that. I always usually I tell people, it's better just to ask for forgiveness instead of permission, but not when it's your mom and you're living under her roof, bro. That's that's ejectable offense right there. You get ejected from the house you grew up in or live in. Yeah. Yeah, Haley was a yeah, Haley's amazing. I love her pattern, and she's just a normal. So that's the crazy thing about it is normal hognoses look great too. Or he is? Yeah, I don't know. He? I guess you're talking about him. So, what's up? What's up, cousin? Um, I can't tell by your name who you are, so I don't know if we're cousins. I have a red Conda het for snow turning this. Yeah, considering picking up a Yeti maker. Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know if the red conda you have is, a male or a female, but oh, no, it says you want a male, so I'm assuming the one you have is a female. So, yeah, it's that's pretty neat. Yeah. Hognoses are chill. Like, you see how much he's moving around, but he's just hanging. He's just hanging out. Just hanging out. Let's see. Yeah, ball pythons are amazing. Yeah, ball pythons are I think that's lazy as you can get a snake to be. So, I think they're pretty awesome. You be announcing the next morph of Beardies to be released soon? Do you mean Beardies that I'm selling, or do you mean morphs that somebody is producing out there that's newer morphs? Because there are some morphs out there. Give us the info on Crinkle Toes. Crinkle Toes is oh man, I have a picture of it. Hold on. Crinkle Toes essentially is whenever you have a dragon that looks like it has crinkle fries for toes, and am I gonna be able to find pictures of it? Jeez, maybe not. I have to go look in all my old pictures. Um, here we go. Yeah, let me share this real quick so we can see what we're talking about. Crinkle Toes. Yeah, what happened to you? All right. So this is a bearded dragon I used to own. I no longer own her because so this was around the time where I started getting back into bearded dragons. And so crinkle toes is not something essentially that you want to breed for or even have in your parents that you're breeding. But obviously, if you are lacking bearded dragons and you are having trouble finding stuff, which does happen whenever, especially during breeding season, it's hard to find stuff. So what happens is you end up with dragons that other people don't want, and essentially you just hold back bearded dragons that don't have the crinkle toes. So this one here, this is what this is not even a bad example of crinkle toes. I have seen them where I mean it's just a crink from here, starts over here, goes over here. Like every joint has a crink. This one only has one crink in it. So this is a very mild, very minor crinkle toe right here, and that's essentially what you get with inbreeding. So I know people like to say, well, everything is inbred. Everything starts off with inbreeding, which is correct. That is something that happens. But the problem is once you start outcrossing, you end up with healthier bigger dragons. And what happens if you don't start outcrossing or you don't start outcrossing right away or when you're supposed to, you start dwindling or making the line of that bearded dragon weaker. So you end up with things like crinkle toes. You end up with things like short snout. You end up with things like respiratory issues because bearded dragons that are from bad pairings are more prone to having issues like respiratory issues and neurological issues, stuff like that. So those are things that you want to look for and things you want to stay away from essentially. And I know most people are like, well, most people when they take pictures of bearded dragons, let's say they take a picture like this, and you look at it and they cut off this last foot. Let's say that somebody were to crop it, and all of a sudden you don't see the bottom half of this picture. Well, that's something you have to do. Something you have to ask questions. You have to, if somebody's selling you something, obviously they should be willing to send you pictures of everything. So you're interested in seeing pictures of the toes, or if you're interested in seeing pictures of everything, then essentially that's up to you to request those pictures and make sure that everything looks okay. Now, obviously, for neurological disorders or head shakes, essentially, you won't really be able to get those in pictures. So if you ask for video, you may be just not catching it in the video. So some of that stuff you may not even know that you have it until you have the dragon in your hand. So unfortunately. All right. Dang, you guys are Oh yeah. So babies I'm selling soon. It's gonna be more reds. Um, I'll be posting them in like the beginning of June. So it'll be more reds with leatherback, with dunner, with translucent. They're all gonna be het hypo. So it'll be the parents. I'll show you. Go ahead and show you parents while we're at it, so you can decide if you want to or not. Let's see. Did I put the parents' pictures in here? I sure did. You guys, my computer is like a hoarding place for bearded dragon pictures and snake pictures. So I have everything in folders. I'm very organized, believe it or not. I know you guys are like, he's probably disorganized, especially after seeing that room tour video. That was a very disorganized room right there. Sure. All right, so we'll start off with the mother here. This is the dam to the clutch that I'm going to be posting. She's also the dam to the babies that I just posted, and they went really quick. Um, so that's going to be, I don't know how that's going to be with the second clutch, but the first clutch did go really quick. It was only 2 babies. So this is the mom here. She is 50% red monster. I know she doesn't look like much, especially in this picture because it's kind of just pictures that are never going to be perfect, unfortunately. So she's 50% red monster. Looks really good in person. Looks terrible in pictures. And she is het translucent, not het hypo. And then the dad is the dad is dang it, everything's always going on. Here we go. This is the dad. This is the dad here. He is a hypo trans leatherback dunner. He is not red monster lineage. So all the babies are 25% red monster, but I won't advertise that, so you won't see it anywhere on the ads. You'll just look at the pictures and do whatever you want with it just by looking at the parents. So they are going to be 25% red monster. The mom is 50% red monster. The dad is not from red monster lineage. The dad is from the United States lines of reds. So pretty good lines. Some of the best lines of reds in the world actually originated from combining United States reds with other things. So that's some of the things people don't really consider. People don't really take into consideration whenever they're buying reds and bringing them back to the U.S. Is more than likely it's going to be related to something here already. But that's just how it goes. Let's see. I will have yellow dragons, but right now I do not. Um, so let's see. Trying to remember all the clutches I have. I have 16 clutches in the incubator, and I can't remember what order everything is. So I'm pretty sure the next couple clutches, the next one is 3 eggs of het wiblets. So there's going to be some possible wiblets in there, some possible het wiblets in there. And then the next one, I want to say it's supposed to be yellow, but I can't remember. So there should be yellows this year, but I don't have any yellows right now. And I probably won't have any yellows for a couple months, to be honest. So we have chromas. That's something that it's going to be been the topic for a while here, and I don't want to speak too soon, but I possibly have that in my collection. So that's just going to leave it at that. And albino, yeah, it's. Let me put this guy back, and I'll talk about albinos for a little bit. All right, albinos. So let's just say I saw somebody selling albinos on Morph Market for about $5,000, and I messaged them asking them why they weren't albinos. And I said, possibly you put the wrong pictures on there. He said, no, those are the right pictures. Long story short, supposedly they are albinos. He retook pictures, but the pictures, you know what? It doesn't even matter. The pictures just look fake. It looked like this picture grabs from somebody else's pictures, but it's whatever. That's all I'm going to say right now. There's people out there selling albino stuff already. I don't know about it. There's a lot of people out there lying and thieving. I don't know about it. South Africa, work of. Oh, Larger than elephant creatures in the water. No, thank you. Those things, y'all can keep that in South Africa. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're asking about albinos or you're asking about the chromas. So um, nothing that is out right now requires any special anything, unless it's a silky. The albino strain that's out is T plus or T positive, and they do not have any sensitivities to UVB or anything like that. So nothing requires any special care right now. Yeah, definitely starts off as line breeding, too many generations, inbreeding. Correct. Yeah, it's the same for any species. This is the same for humans, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe humans are out there doing line breeding, but you never know. Yes, they can get passed down. Essentially, what happens is the further away from the original crinkle toe, it just starts looking less crinkly, like the one that I showed in the picture, and then eventually it just goes away. But it can get passed down. Oh, never seen them, but that's the thing about that's the thing about the ocean, right? The ocean and any body of water is you never really know what's down there because no one has really explored every single bit of water out on this planet. So you never really know. A real black dragon born in Thailand on the U.S. Not old enough to pay that. Yeah, it's not. I don't believe it's a black dragon. I believe it's just a really dark red monster. But that's just me. And I think whenever they start pairing it, eventually the red is going to start showing and the black is going to start disappearing unless they find something else dark and black to pair it to. Do you prefer bioactive or sterile tanks? Let's see. Um, I guess I can't really just take the camera with me because it's wired to the laptop, but all of my tanks are newspaper bottom. So you can use paper towels, you can use tiles, you can leave it blank, whatever. I don't prefer any bioactive. People have success with bioactive. My thing is, I don't want to have to deal with cleaning bioactive tanks. I know people are like, oh, well, they'll self sufficient. They clean themselves. Blah blah blah. You always got to clean something. I mean, that's just too much work. So I don't want to deal with it. So I prefer just going bare bottom and cleaning it up myself. The Mokele Membeb. I can't even pronounce that. Shit, there's something even back in the 60s. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look it up. Mokele Mbebe. I'm gonna look it up. How dubious. I was actually the fourth colony. I'm sorting it. I was supposed to sort it today, but I never got a chance to do it. So it's sitting right there, ready for me to sort, and I just not have had the chance to do it. But the other ones, so I said this in the video. Each colony has 420 females and like 70 adult males or something like that. So each of them has over 500 adults that are mature enough to breed. And the thing is, one of the colonies, this was an experiment that I did. One of the colonies, I put all of the extra adults or the extra grow outs in there. And then I left one colony with just babies in it. So the reason for the experiment is I want to see how many of those grow out to be females. So I know that sounds weird, but now that I have a total count, I want to make sure I know how many of them are females and how many of them are males. Technically, you can sex them before they get winged and before they mature, but it's just if you have 1,000 of them, you don't want to do that for each one. So it's not worth it. But they're good. Congos do strong. Yeah, yeah, malaria. No, thank you. Y'all can keep that too. Y'all can keep the big animals that are bigger than elephants. You can keep the malaria. You can keep all the spaces that have not been searched. Y'all can keep all that over there. Yeah, I feed off any extra males. So I had probably like 400 extra males that I'm feeding off. I think I fed the last ones off yesterday. And I still have some like adults that are not full mature that I'm kind of just feeding off too because I need the food. Let's see. I tried bioactive tanks when I first started, and my little ones would quit trying to eat. Yeah, that's the thing that they eat anything. So they would eat the rocks, they would eat the dirt, they would eat everything, and then essentially they would poop out all of that stuff. So it's not good. It could lead to impaction. It's just not worth it, in my opinion, to have all of that. in the tank. So I go bare and I just let them deal with it. And there goes another ad. You guys getting ads? This is weird. I thought there was not supposed to be ads for lives. Maybe it's just me. All right, that was the whole ad right there. You have a, you have offended. I can't pronounce it. To be honest, I'm not even gonna try again. So I'll look it up. You know what? I'll look it up right now. It'll tell me how to pronounce it. Mokele. Oh, it's Mokili. Mokili. Dude. Okay, so it's like an alligator elephant thing. It's crazy looking. It looks more like a Godzilla looking thing. That's interesting, actually. At least that's what they pictured it. So Mokele Bembe. I don't know. Oh, Kele, Kekle. Oh, Mokekle Mobe. Mokekle Mobe. Okay. Maybe I said it right that time. I can't tell you. You guys, he said the gods are angered. Let's see. Somebody messing with me on Morph Market. Oh, look at that. Somebody sent me payment for something. Things go quick. Hey, I don't know. There has to be a reason behind it. I guess they trying something new out or something like that. Hey, I don't care because every time there's an ad, I get a percentage. The funny thing is, whenever I started YouTube, and I started YouTube November of 2022. I started YouTube, and I knew I was going to start YouTube before that. So I started doing all the research and blah blah blah. And my brother had a YouTube channel when I was growing up, so I was asking him questions and everything. And the funny thing is that he said that the average people get paid for every 1,000 views is like $5 to $6. And I'm like, hey, I get 1,000 views, $5 to $6, whatever. What he didn't tell me, which is I think it's something that changed from whenever he was on YouTube, was they only pay you if you make over $100. So if you only get $6, you ain't getting paid. Like you're gonna be waiting for a long time before you get paid. So they have all these parameters in place, essentially telling you have to have 1,000 subscribers, you have to have 4,000 watch hours before you can get paid. And I get about 1,000 watch hours a month now, so it's a whole lot different than whenever I first started. It took me about 8 months to get to member level, which they call it a YouTube partnership. That's what it is, not a membership. So it took me about 8 months to get there. And it's the funny thing is now they're doing ads and everything, and I'm like, hey, that's it's going to make it easier for me to get money. Which I appreciate you guys for supporting me. I appreciate you guys because even though this is a hobby, it doesn't hurt to make a little bit on the side, right? And this YouTube channel allows me, because this YouTube channel, there's no real expense that goes into the YouTube channel, so everything that I make off the YouTube channel does help me out with all the animals. Because even if, let's say, I get paid $100 every 2 months, that's $100 that I didn't have before, right? So that's the way I look at it. So I do appreciate everybody that stays on, even though there's ads going through. Yeah, I appreciate it. It was one of the cheaper ones. Hey, a sale is a sale. And tribes live along the banks, including the Pygmies. Some tributaries have seen the Western Florence River. Huh. Interesting. That's another thing about this planet. Obviously, we searched everything in the water, bodies of water, but we also haven't searched everything on land. So we're over here just thinking everything is safe. We go somewhere where he's talking about, where all of a sudden, yo, that's Godzilla just walking around, like you never know how that's going to work. So that's crazy stuff. Oh, ERBA. I don't know if everybody's followed the ERBA thing that we've talked about, or that I talk about on occasion. ERBA stands for Ethical Reptile Breeders Association. It's a ERBA USA. Um, and you know what? I'll actually bring it up because I haven't updated the website since I created the website because I was trying to work with a group of people to create it and maintain it, but it has not gone as I expected. So it's going to be, I think it's just going to be me and then getting feedback from people. So the standards for reptile breeders or breeding reptiles, yada yada, be the best by breeding the best quality reptiles, ERBA. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Now, you want some merch? I got this T-shirt actually, and I know the guy on here, he actually got a sweatshirt, but this T-shirt here, I got one. It's in blue. If you guys want to see the color in blue, get the RBA in the front, and it says "Setting the Standards" here on the back. So that's the big thing. So it's a bearded dragon saying "Setting the Standards." You don't have to purchase anything if you don't want to. I'm just showing you what it has on there. Then this hoodie here says "Setting the Standards" in the front, and then on the sleeve it says ERBA. And let's see what else we got. Then we got another one that just has ERBA on the sleeve, nothing in the front. So if you guys like more plain stuff, I'm a my wife used to call me Plain Jane because I just was boring like that. I didn't like stuff. I didn't like colors. I didn't like patterns. I didn't like stuff on my shirts. I was pretty plain, but that's just the way I was. And then there's another one that just says ERBA in the front, nothing on the back. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward if you guys want to support that. And the whole reason behind the RBA was just to make sure that we are actually, I guess I should show the website. I just show the homepage. So I'll put some care guides on here. I'll probably add more care guides, probably one for hognoses. I'm trying to add stuff that I know how to take care of. If you have other species that you want to share care guides for, you can reach out. My Instagram for ERBA, I can't remember what it is, to be honest. Let me look it up. So it's ERBA.USA. Is that what it is? I can't remember now. Where is it? It's not letting me switch to a different account. That's weird. Oh, I see what it is. Yeah, ERBA.USA is what it is. Oh, I'm not even sure. Here you go, ERBA.USA. So I've been trying to share stuff that people send me. Like somebody sent me somebody that's sold some dragons, and they gave the whole story on there. So I shared their story. The bearded lady. So she was showing that she was just sharing her experience. There was one about Silky. So, gosh, that's so miserable looking. I apologize for anybody who has a sensitive stomach. There was another one about people selling het zeros and visual zeros that came from a 0 to het 0 pairing. So obviously that's a no-no as well. And then there's this post here that I have. So I'll be trying. So what I'm trying to do is everything that I post on here, I'll be trying to make it somewhere in here. Maybe, I don't know if I'll put it in breeding standards. I'll probably put it in breeding standards just to show different stories of how people are bad at breeding. Not sure yet, but this is the website I created. This is a website that I maintain. This is a website I pay for. So any little bit helps. So if you guys, you can even, donate $1, $5, whatever. It takes about $40 a year to maintain this website. So it doesn't have to be a whole lot of money. It just, I have to make enough from it to make it worthwhile. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that. It's not trying to replace U.S. ARC, the United States Association of Reptile Keepers. I mean, I'm always went the wrong way. I'm always representing too. Like I'm always wearing T-shirts and everything that say U.S. ARC on it. I mean, that's literally my wardrobe. So I'm not gonna try to take that out. I actually share stuff they share. So I mean, I'm not gonna appreciate you. Definitely got to make it, especially in this day and age. Yeah, it's as they get older, they're a little bit less colorless or less colored, but they look great. And this one here, I know you guys can't see her that well. She actually just shed yesterday, and because she is a boa, they don't when they're pre-lay shed, it's a pre-birth shed essentially. So now she goes 100. I think it's 105 days, 100 days before she gives birth. So that's going to be the first of my collection ever having anything that gives birth instead of laying eggs. That's going to be super cool. Oh, I hope not. I mean, too many Jurassic World and too many Jurassic Park movies for this. We already know how that's going to end. I mean, you can't tame a dinosaur. No, thank you. So if you want to go live in the world where the dinosaurs are cloned, more power to you. I'll stay over here, and hopefully nothing gets out, and hopefully nothing takes over the world like in the Jurassic World movies. And, it's funny because they actually the last Jurassic World movie that they did, where everything was out and about. Then they did on Netflix. They have like a animated series, which is like teenagers and kids and like young adults and stuff. So I think it has 3 seasons or something like that. But that's also pretty good. If anybody's into that stuff, just my son liked it. Yeah, there are massive unexplored areas: Canada, South America, Africa, the ocean. Yeah, of course. It's funny talking about Canada. So if anybody ever looks at the map of Canada, and you'll see all the provinces are all towards the United States. They're all just lined up on the United States like that. And then everybody's like, well, what's all of this area? It's a very cold area. That's what it is. Nobody wants to live there. And honestly, Canada, unlike the United States, Canada is not overpopulated. It's not overrun. So you don't have to live in the whole freaking continent or the whole country, not the continent. Technically the continent, because even parts of Mexico are uninhabited. So that's pretty neat. Yeah. ERBA member, appreciate it. You wore it today. I didn't even go to the expo, so I could have worn mine. Interesting. The trend is ongoing. Yeah, things have never changed. Oh, what species do you have in your collection? He's asking the guy from South Africa. Did the yellow dunner clutch pull through? 1 egg made it. Yeah. Something, I don't know what it is. So there was something going on in my incubator, and I thought I perfected it, but then after that, I found gnats in there. So I perfected what I thought was wrong. Now there's gnats. So it's another issue that I have to deal with. And I was actually supposed to stop at Lowe's today to get more gnat traps or whatever to put in the incubator, but I did not. So dang it. Well, yeah, I've seen like 3 gnats in there, and they can't get in. The problem is they're in the vermiculite, and whenever I put the vermiculite in the egg tray to get the eggs ready to hatch, or when they lay them, they're in there, and I don't know it, or they lay eggs in there, and I don't know it. So then, obviously, that's what happens. Or they're in the water that I use to moisten the vermiculite, and then obviously that's what happens. So that's the bad thing about it. So I mentioned this in the video. I'm going to start microwaving it. So I'm gonna put the water in there, and I'm gonna microwave everything before I bring it out here to get the dragon eggs. And I have to do that before the snakes lay eggs, because the snakes only lay eggs once per snake. So if 1 clutch goes bad, that's the entire season for that snake going bad. Yeah, so I used to do vinegar and dish soap, and that works for a little bit. But the thing is, all of these liquids dry out so quickly, especially in here because it's super dry in here. So I'm gonna have to figure something out that allows them to not make it in the incubator. The less humans you see. Oh no, thank you. If there's less humans out there, that means that the humans that are out there are the ones that were brave enough to go out there, and I'm not brave enough to go out there. No, thank you. No thanks. I'll keep all the animals I got in here. These are animals that I can handle, animals that I'm used to. I'm brave enough for these animals, not the crazy things out there that we have never discovered. I mean, like, so there's the Meg movies, right? And in the first Meg movie, the thing just comes out of nowhere because they like open up a bubble or something in the surface of the, I don't know how to explain it, but man, I was like, see, that's why we don't go exploring places we don't need to go. Why would a human need to go to the bottom of the ocean? And then, oh wait, not even the bottom of the ocean. You went further down. You went below the bottom of the ocean. Like, no, thank you. Obviously, that's just a movie, but that's all I can go off of. And then there's the piranha movies. The piranha movies, they were living in a cave, and then somebody broke a cave open or something like that. Yeah, crazy stuff. Uh, you know who they need to get out there? The guy from River Monsters. I don't know if you guys have ever watched River Monsters on Animal Planet, but that guy, he can find anything. He retired, but he can find anything. I don't even know what his name is. Oh, has crinkle toes. Nah. Being Red Monster too. That's why I had crinkle toes. I don't know, man. That's up to you. To be honest, it's your money. It's your breeding. It's up to you. I'm not gonna lie. I would personally, yeah, I'd have to see how bad the crinkle toes are. If it's like just one crink and it's only one toe out of the entire 20 toes that the dragon has, maybe not a big idea, but or a big problem essentially. But if it's a massive crank or if it's multiple toes, I would just stay clear of it. I would just sell it as pet only or something. Not worth it, in my opinion. You can do what you want. It's your money that you spent. That's up to you. Like I said, if you outcross, eventually the crinkle toes will go away in a generation or two. But that's up to you. Yes, Jeremy Wade. That's his name. No, no kidding. I have to get back into watching TV again. Saltwater, smart. He had already tapped in all the fresh water, the bodies of fresh water on this planet. Yeah. Oh, he has been there. Dang. Okay. I guess I gotta get out there. South Africa, you said? Well, you know the funny thing is, South Africa, right? So South Africa has like a higher population of white people in Africa. My dad's side of the family. So I'm Cuban for anybody that doesn't know this. And in Cuba, there's black people, white people, Indian people, all kinds of people, Asian people too. People with blue eyes, people with green eyes, people with no eyes. I'm just kidding. Seeing if y'all paying attention. The problem is my dad's side of the family strictly only kept within um, one race, the African race, and being the Cuban is technically African Cuban race, but I'll just keep it out of there. And he used to always tell me what tribe he was from, and I'm like, how do you know what tribe you're from when it's been generations that you've lived, that your family's lived in Cuba? But yeah, so it's crazy because every time I'm like, I'll go to Africa and figure out where this tribe was located, but then what are the chances that I'll find where this tribe is located? What are the chances that it's actually located somewhere that people can go? Like, like I don't know. So maybe it's in South Africa. Maybe his whole family's only black because somebody from South Africa was like black. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with reptiles. Catching Goliath tigers. Mm-mm. Goliath makes it seem scary. See, people like you, y'all just need to go and get together and then go on an exploration together and then figure out what's out there and then come report back to people like me of what's out there, so I don't have to deal with it myself because y'all won't catch me out there dealing with them crazy animals nobody's ever seen before. Y'all, even the animals we've seen before. You think I'm going to be out there with a lion? No, thank you. People try to domesticate a lion, and guess what? Backfires. Nah, I'll stay over here. Y'all report back. Tell me what y'all find. I ain't gonna do it. Nope. Oh, and if it's something cool that you can keep as a pet, let me know so I can be the first one to put it out in the marketplace. I kid. Let's see. All right. Let me reply to this because I don't like people sending me messages and me not ever replying. Because I know by the time I get done with this podcast, I will forget to reply. Here we go. Done. Giant sloths. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but sloths, right? I've seen sloths before. You go to the zoo, you see a sloth. Sloths, right? I've watched documentaries about sloth and how vicious they actually are, even though they're really slow. They're very strong and kind of vicious, right? And that's if there's a giant version of a sloth that is slow but vicious, I don't know about it, right? No, thank you. Like I said, if y'all find it, let me know if it's something you can keep as a pet, and we'll figure it out. Most expensive bearded dragon currently in your collection and in your baby rack. In the baby rack, the most expensive bearded dragon I probably have is a holdback that I decided to keep from the second clutch. So did I take pictures of him and did I put him on my computer? Those are the questions. 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. I took a picture of it. So this is the one that I'm talking about. Now, this doesn't look like much. And you're probably wondering, well, he put a blue stripe down the back. That's just so I can remember which one not to sell. So the thing about this particular dragon is I know he doesn't look like much, but that is a translucent leatherback dunner. And his dad, as I mentioned previously, it's a hypotrans leatherback dunner. What I'm trying to do, and I've mentioned this in other videos, is I'm trying to get hypo out of my reds. I don't care if hypos appear in the reds. I'm fine with that. What I want to do is get hypo out of it. That way, whenever I breed two reds together, if there's hypos, that's fine. But most of them come out not hypo. And the problem with that is before here in the United States, people like the cherry red color, the apple red color. But now because red monsters have came in and everybody started selling red monsters, you'll notice most red monsters out there are not hypo. And there's a reason behind that. That's because hypo kind of diminishes the dark red color. So if you get rid of the hypo, you end up with the darker red. And this guy has not had a shed yet. And you can already see how nicely red he is. He's never had a shed ever. This is still his color from the egg. This thing is surreal. I love the way he looks. And again, only 25% red monster. Mostly everything in him is American line reds. So this thing's gonna be nice. Can't wait to see him grow. He's probably never gonna leave because even if I don't sell his dad, I'll have to add more males eventually. So because my goal is to have this entire wall bearded dragons. So that'll probably be another 10 enclosures or so. So yeah. And then the goal with the ball pythons and stuff, I have enough room in the middle of this building where I can start making things face each other. So I'll probably move the snake racks over here and put all the baby racks for the bearded dragons on that wall. You guys can't see anything that I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about. And that's essentially what I want. So I want to have 4 baby racks for bearded dragons, more bearded dragon enclosures. Like I said before in the last video I did, most of everything I do is bearded dragons, and that's what my specialty is. I don't want to say specialty, but that's my my favorite species that I own. And I'm trying to get rid of more ball pythons to add more boas and to add more hognoses. So I want to use the wall that's behind me for the boas. So I could probably do 10 boas back here, or maybe so I'm trying to do 1 to 2. So it'd have to be 1. So it can't be 10 boas. I mean, I guess it could be 15. No, I don't want to do 15. 9, I'll do 9 or 12. Something like that. I don't want to do 15. 15 sounds like a lot. 9 or 12. Right now I am at 6. So I'm at 6. I have 2 males and 4 females right now. You guys haven't seen nothing. I don't know what I've shown for the boas, but um, most of these actually I did a video on whenever I got the last one in the winter. I did a video on, but I've added one since. And then obviously there's going to be a litter of babies, so there may be more boas to be added to the collection, but we'll see. And right now I have 6 hognoses, and I found somebody local that was selling 4, but he either wants to trade for a baby rack or he wants money, and I don't want money, or I want to spend money. So then I have to find a baby rack that I can sell him, and I don't have one that I can sell him because I'm using the ones that I have. There you go. They're gonna be luxury resorts in deep Africa. I may go to that. If it's a resort, right? That means it's kind of protected. People kind of know that there's stuff out there, so they've probably done something to make sure nobody gets injured. So I can probably do a luxury resort. My dad, like I said, he says that's where his tribe is in Africa. So technically, he's wanted to go to the Serengeti forever. Maybe one day I'll be able to make that happen for him, and maybe we'll go to the Serengeti, and then we'll figure out some luxury resort somewhere in the deep Africa. So he can be like, "Nah, don't take me there, dude. You going where they got all the animals nobody knows about? No, y'all can keep that." That's funny. No, my dad likes cool stuff like that. He likes history, so it might be good for him. Build a big cage with 2 African rock pythons. Feed this. Nah, nah, nope. Anything. So all right, right now. I'll go back to that. Right now, I'm dealing with a situation with my neighbors, and my neighbors don't like snakes, so they're trying to get rid of me. They're telling me I either got to get rid of the snakes or they're gonna get rid of me. I don't know how they're gonna do either of those things, but that's what I'm dealing with. So no big snakes, nothing that eats other snakes, nothing that eats other reptiles, nothing that eats smaller dogs, big baby goats, nothing like that. So yeah. The reply about the bioactive versus sterile. No, I do no bioactive. I like everything to be plain bottom. You can do the newspaper, you can do rubber mats, tile, anything that can be cleaned essentially is the best thing. So I'll go back up. There was somebody that said something about bioactive. So this is the person that had bioactive. I mentioned him earlier. He said, I tried bioactive tanks when I first started, and the little ones wouldn't quit trying to eat the rocks and stuff. Then my little male pooped out sand in the water, and that was the end of that. So yeah, that's what essentially happens. Some dragons don't eat the stuff, but some food-driven animals will start eating the dirt and the sand and everything else that goes in there. So it's not worth it, in my opinion, especially for younger bearded dragons. If you can find an older bearded dragon to start off with doing a bioactive, maybe that'll work for you. But I personally, if you can't clean it, it's not worth it. I know your people say, "Oh, well, they clean themselves," but it's just not worth it. I know they're supposed to clean themselves, but if you don't have the right combination of cleaner crew or whatever, the springtails and this and that, then it might not work out the way you want it to, and it's probably not going to be worth it. That's my opinion about it. People have different opinions about it. I have had people that started out in bioactive, and like this person that I just showed, he started out in bioactive and they decided to go to a sterile enclosure because it's easier to clean. I've had people that didn't do bioactive, but instead they did sand bottom, and it was not even a whole lot of sand, just enough sand for them to play in it. But it was just a mess. It was always hard to clean up because of sand. The only time I use any sand or dirt is for the lay bin, and even that makes a huge mess because I put the lay bin inside of the enclosure so they can dig when they feel like it, and that makes a huge mess, and I hate it. So I prefer not doing nothing like that and only having to deal with it when the females are laying. So the males never have any sand in their enclosure, and the females, if they're not breeding, they're not going to have sand in their enclosure either. So that's just the way I do it. One of the best episodes ever. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. So before I let y'all go, because I already ate, before I let y'all go, I want to say something. I'm not sure. I know there's people here not from the United States. If you guys watched my last video, there was a little clip in there about this app called the Change app. If anybody is dealing with any debt related issues where you're having trouble paying it off, or maybe maybe you're just not aware of everything you have. So this particular app, you put in your information, and essentially they find all the debt that you have just by putting in, your information. They don't sell your information to nobody, and then they can track everything you have. They can send payments to locations. So it's a savings app. So it rounds up. Like if you spend $7.88 on something, it'll round up to the $8 mark, and those 12 cents will be added to a bank. And then that bank, once it has enough money, you can send that to whatever debt you have, and eventually you can pay it off. So if you go and look it up, it's called the Change app. So let me go ahead and share the link to that. So you can use my link here, and they will essentially give you a free month. And this Change app, essentially what it is um, it just helps you out. It teaches you about debt and stuff like that. Especially this works out very well for people that are younger adults, because I know whenever I was a younger adult, I'm 30 now pretty much, and I know whenever I first started off, I was like, I need a car, I need an apartment, I need this, I need that, I need this. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, damn, that was a lot of things I needed that I didn't really need, and now I got to pay it all off. So it also helps with that. So that's all I got to say. You guys should check it out if you're interested. Yeah, if you're not interested, no big deal. I don't get anything for it. I just gives people a free month for recommending them, but that's all it is. If anybody's interested. But that's all I got for you all. With all that said, it is past the hour mark now, and I appreciate you guys for staying tuned. Appreciate you guys for participating. There were no questions today for me to do on a slideshow or anything like that. So you guys were it. You guys were my questions for the day. So you guys did pretty good. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the conversations we had. There was a lot of comments, to be honest, for only being like, I don't even know how many people were on the entire time. So there you go. Thanks. Appreciate you guys. So with all that said, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. And for all future videos, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. As always, and you guys know what I'm going to do. Peace.